How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse, the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And boys and girls, we have found ourselves at the end of an era because, yes, our dear beloved Matt Pat from Game Theory and all the rest of his wonderful channels out there is officially leaving YouTube. And I think it's a very tragic thing to see. I think it's a very tragic thing to absolutely see what's happened. And I honestly think it's a little foolish to begin with as well. But we're going to get into all of that here in just a second because at the end of the day, this is one of the earliest channels that a lot of us out there started watching our YouTube on, especially if anybody that was into any of the kind of the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, which obviously we've covered extensively on this channel and my old channel, The Common Nerd, and if you can find all of those old videos over there on Rumble to check out all of that kind of stuff, or Odyssey as well, where we covered a lot of the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff going on with as far as like a lot of the movie stuff that was going on, the reviews, how well they did at the box office, all of that kind of stuff. And you know, it's one of those things. My son introduced me to FNAF. You know, it was one of those generational things where my oldest son passed this on to me, and it was something that got me into it. I was never really big into playing the games. I do enjoy them. They're a lot of fun, but going in through Matt Pat's lore, going through all of that kind of stuff was absolutely incredible. He's a very enthusiastic, very energetic guy, very kind, very understanding. He tries to be as apolitical as possible about a lot of this kind of stuff, but is still willing to call out the BS and still willing to call out the nonsense when it's nonsense, especially when it comes to Disney and stuff like that. And, you know, that's one of the things we love to cut our teeth on around here is how abysmal Disney has done over the years. And I think it's one of those situations where seeing somebody like this, who seems like he's really starting to get into the point of calling a lot of this kind of stuff out, it's sad to see another warrior leave the battlefield. It's sad to see another guy leave the table when it comes to the kind of stuff. And I can understand where he's coming from on a lot of this and all of that kind of stuff. And I can understand a lot of his reasonings behind all of this. But at the end of the day, I don't agree with this. I don't think it's a good idea, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about here right now, because as you can see over here from this lovely video that we have pulled up here on the YouTube, as you can see, goodbye internet, the game theorist, 18.5 million subscribers. He's got 1.4 million likes on this and 16,000 downvotes. And honestly, I don't normally downvote things for generally ranges because I know that likes and all of that kind of stuff matter to impressions. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a guy that does this full time, even though you might be seeing this on a very small channel. I was at a time where I had over 4,000 subscribers, almost 4,500, and I know that doesn't sound a lot, especially compared to a guy like Matt Pat over here with the Game Theorist and having over 18 million subscribers, or great friends like ours over here, Nerdrotic, Gary being over, you know, almost getting close to 1 million subscribers, or the Geeks and Gamers group, which, I mean, combined, they have like well over 500,000 subscribers if you combine all their different channels. You know, but it was enough for me to scrape out a living at 4,000 subscribers. It was enough for me to provide for my family and my growing family, where we just had our 5th child, my wife and I. Got a brand new baby girl at the house. And it's one of them situations. I finally watched this video today, and I had some thoughts on it, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I wanted to reiterate a promise to you guys that I have said in the past, maybe not necessarily if you're watching it on this new channel, but on my past channels, and you can go back and find all that stuff on Rumble and on my live streams and everything else. So we're going to get into all of this, but we're going to check this out, and I want to talk about this. I want to talk about why he's doing this. I want to talk about what his reasonings are behind it, why I understand his reasonings behind it, but why I also think it's foolish why I think it's foolish to completely and totally leave something that you've created. So we're going to check out this out. We're going to talk about this for a minute, and we're going to see what you guys think about this. Obviously, leave me comments down below, but before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe if you have not already, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do this without every single one of you. Hitting that subscribe button doesn't cost you a thing, but I will thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. So let's get into this. Let's talk about this. We're obviously not going to go through the video. We don't really need to. I highly recommend you go watch it so you can understand his reasonings on your own, but it's really good, and it's the but why, though, section of this that I understand, right? The guy's got 4 different channels he's running. He's recently partnered, kind of sold off the rights to his channels and to all of that kind of stuff to a new company that is now essentially running things, whereas he's just kind of an administrator. He's kind of an executive on that whole kind of situation. So that's something that we knew happened last year, and that was kind of probably should have been one of our first signs of the fact that this guy was going this way, the fact that he was going to end up heading this way and heading his way out the door of YouTube. Now, he does say that he will still be around on the GT Live stuff. He'll be hosting some of the fashion show. He's got essentially 9 theories left where he will still be the host. And I respect that. He's some of his reasonings behind this. He wants to get into new things. He wants to start being more of a creative. He wants to kind of be the Scott Cawthon of his own kind of universe. And I can understand that. I can respect that, right? I'm a guy that's got my own thoughts, my own ideas of stuff that I will eventually get to when time persists for that kind of thing. Where there's this point where all of this stuff, all of this YouTube stuff, all of the other live streaming stuff that we do, whether it be on Kick or Rumble or Odyssey or Twitter or wherever else we're at, because I do believe in being on all of the platforms. I do believe in being all of that kind of stuff. And honestly, it really worked out well for me because I had a solid and substantial enough base over on Rumble and all of the rest of our streaming platforms that when my YouTube channel got nuked back in October for some absolute BS nonsense reasons, I was still able to sustain. I was still able to continue making this my full-time job. And that's a shout out to each and every one of you out there who came in clutch and supported this channel, who continue to support this channel, continue to support my efforts out there all across all of the different platforms. I really appreciate you. You guys are the reason why I'm able to do this as a full-time job. You guys are the reasons I was able to do this as a full-time job before, and you guys are the reason I am able to continue to do this as a full-time job. So I understand where Matt's coming from as far as wanting to go out there and be creative. I've got some very own ideas for my own storytelling. Obviously, we live in a world where the Iron Age, the comic book generation is coming to something bright and something new, and they're doing incredible things out there. The independents are absolutely succeeding. It doesn't matter if you're a Rippaverse fan. It doesn't matter if you're an EVS fan or any of the other independents that are out there doing incredible things. We've had Jason Sandberg, who's a regular on this channel all the time. He's doing his own thing, creating incredible works out there. There's so many of amazing folks of you out there that are doing things, that are creating your own stuff, that are doing the things that we have asked to do, the things that we want, because good storytelling will always be important. And that's something that I want to do eventually as well. But it's something that I want to let you guys know, that even when I get to a point where I can do that, to where we're not having to crank out content absolutely constantly to please the algorithm, to where we're able to take a little time back and do more live streams with you guys and spend more time with you guys one-on-one and still continue to create good content and still continue to bring you good pop culture news from a common sense perspective. That's always been our goal. That will always be our goal on this channel. And so I understand Matt's reasoning for wanting to walk away, for wanting to be able to go and do something else. But I don't agree with it. Because honestly, when you create channels, when you build this kind of community, when you build this kind of fellowship, there's more to it than just you. There's more to it than just what you want. You have a fan base. You have a dedicated fan base that knows you, that watches your content because of you, not because of necessarily the theories behind it. Obviously, the theories are incredible. The words are incredible. But at the end of the day, what catches people's eye is you, your enthusiasm, your potential, your energy, the way you do things, your style, all of that kind of stuff. So I understand where Matt Pat's coming from, wanting to step away, wanting to be able to do his own creative things. He's a father now. He's got kids. I get that. I'm a father of 5. You know, I'm also the guy that will literally live stream and feed my baby girl on my stream, on other people's stream. You know, that's the kind of dedication I've got to this. That's the kind of stuff that I do. And so I understand why Matt Pat wants to walk away. It's been 13 years of his life. It's been 13 years of his life of busting his butt constantly, nonstop. And I respect that. If you guys go back and watch, well, you can't really watch my old channel anymore on YouTube, but if you go back and look at the Rumble and you look at the dates and you look, and now obviously Rumble doesn't always correlate, but there was a point where I was doing 4 or 5 videos a day. Plus 3 or 4 shorts a day sometimes. You know, I was doing 3 or 4 videos a day, plus at least 3 shorts for a while, and it was working. It worked out great for my channel. It grows. It takes that kind of dedication to build something up like that. And you and I did it. We did it together. All of my fans out there, all of my friends out there, all of my subscribers, all of my watchers, all of my lurkers, all of my haters, all of you. Hi, Julian. Hi, Director X. Like, I don't care about all of that. I don't care about the hate. I don't care about any of that nonsense. I care about bringing you good quality content. I believe in what we're doing around here. I believe in this culture war fight. I believe we are on the right side of history. I hate to use their words, but I do believe that, and I think the proof is in the pudding on that. You see how far Star Wars has fallen. You see how far the MCU has fallen. You see how far Disney has fallen. You've seen what Warner Brothers has done to themselves. You see all of these mainstream giants out there that have destroyed themselves because they decided to put agenda over good storytelling. They decided to put whatever their personal beliefs were over being true to all of you out there, the fans, the fellowship, the ones who love all of this kind of stuff. They decided to put their own personal beliefs over that. And I don't agree with that. And I'll never agree with that. I got 5 kids and I plan on having more. Okay? I am fighting for a cultural, generational change on this channel. That's why even after getting my YouTube channel nuked, did I walk away? Did I go get another job? No! I stuck right here in this chair, fighting, pushing back against all of this nonsense. I didn't care that YouTube had nuked me. Of course I cared. I was mad. I was angry. I was upset. It was my entire, income gone, for the most part, in a single shot, because of something silly and something ridiculous, because of a banana eating GIF, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's ridiculous. It's silly, and that's the way YouTube works. And I'm not going to walk away. I don't care how big I get. I don't care if I end up hitting 10 million or 20 million or 100 million subscribers. Or just 100,000 subscribers. I don't care. Or 10,000 subscribers. And I can still make a living because of all of you guys and support my family. I'm not going to walk away. I understand why Matt is. I don't agree with it, though. I love him. I love his videos. I will always love his videos. I will always love this channel. I will always go back and watch a lot of these great Five Nights at Freddy's videos. But I think it's a mistake. And I honestly think I actually have no doubt in my mind about this whatsoever, because we've seen this happen so many times in the past. That Matt leaving and all of his energy and all of his sass and all of his dad jokes and everything else, him leaving is going to permanently damage his channels. I guarantee you that. These new guys might be great and might be wonderful, or new girls, and I'll give them a shot. I absolutely will. I'll watch them just like I gave Jodie Whittaker a shot when it came to Doctor Who, even though I was completely and totally convinced that was going to be a disaster. And it's sad to say I was right, but I was willing to give it a shot. And I'm willing to give Matt Pat's new crew a shot, too. But I know how the internet works. I know how YouTube works. I've been around here. I've been watching for well over a decade. Been involved for almost 4 years now, proactively doing things on this platform. On the back end, it doesn't take you long to figure out what works and what doesn't when you look at your analytics. And I've never been an analytics-driven guy. I've done videos that I knew weren't going to do well. Why? Because I knew they were important. Because I knew the stories and the information needed to get out there. That you all needed to see that. That you all needed to understand that. Even if only 100 of you watched it. Even if only 10 of you watched it. The information needed to get out there. The information was important. And even if Matt's silly theories don't seem all that important to a lot of people out there in the overall zeitgeist of the culture war, I promise you, his stuff made a difference. Even if it was never his intention. He highlighted what was good, what was indie. A lot like what we try to do over here with comics, what we try to do with movies. What we try to do with that kind of stuff. We try to highlight those, whether it be Jason Sandberg's Jupiter, Hojo's Mythicals, or, whether it be Nefarious, where we had the directors on here talking to the director and writer and the stuntman and other people involved in the movie, promoting that movie, talking about that kind of stuff. That stuff is important. And Matt Pat was doing that kind of thing. And who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. I could completely and totally be wrong. Maybe his channel will continue to succeed with these new people, these new hosts going forward. But we've seen this happen time again. We've seen channels get sold off to other people and other people take it over and it fails. And that's one of the things I'm terrified about, because The Game Theorist is one of my earliest channels that I love to watch all of the time. I'm terrified that this is going to do the exact same thing to his channel that we've seen this happen to so many others. I honestly believe. Will it kill game theory? Will it kill food theory? Will it kill movie? Will it kill film theory? Will it kill fashion theory? No, I don't think it'll kill them. completely. I think they're at, and I hate to say this, but I think they're almost at too big to fail kind of numbers. I think just based on the algorithm and people who are just interested in the topics, that these videos will continue to succeed and at least be sustainable. Do I think it will ever hit the success and the heights of what it has hit during the MatPat era? No. And MatPat even put a great Doctor Who reference in there from the transition from David Tennant to Matt Smith. And I agree. I enjoyed that transition. I enjoyed that era. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I hate what they've done. Like I said, I even watched the modern Jodie Whittaker stuff. Do I think this is going to be a transition like that? No. I think this is going to be a transition like the Peter Capaldi to the Jodie Whittaker era. Are the numbers still going to be kind of there? Maybe. You know what? Maybe it won't even be as drastic as that. Maybe it'll be the Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi era numbers. Maybe it'll be something like that. But I think it's still going to end up leading to a Jodie Whittaker area, a Chris Chibnall area, the new Who with David Tennant, or not David Tennant and Chris Chibnall back now destroying Doctor Who. I think that's what it's going to end up leading to. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. For every one of his employees, for every one of his new hosts out there, I pray to God, Lord, please let me be wrong, and let MatPat and all of the rest of his channel and all of the rest of his hosts and let them succeed and grow and continue to be champions in the beauty of the highlighting the things that they do. Please, Lord, let them continue to go. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen. Because I don't just put out thoughts and prayers. I actually do it. I'll do it on live streams. I'll do it in videos, mid-credit, mid-whatever this is, mid-recording. And I do. I hope they all succeed. I hope they do well. They all seem like absolutely lovely people. But it's just the way the algorithm works. It's just the way the crowds work. It's just the way the audience works. If I disappeared here someday and someone else took over, I'd imagine there's going to be a significant portion of you guys that leave. Even if it would be my own son sliding into this chair and taking things over for me, I think there's a good portion of you that wouldn't stick around. And I don't blame you. I understand that. My son isn't going to be an exact representation of me. MatPat's hosts aren't going to be an exact representation of him. I hope it does well. I hope it continues to succeed. I hope these new theories are wonderful and great and fabulous and everything else. I just know the way this stuff goes. And I do believe this is going to damage and drastically hurt the future of all of the theory channels out there. And that's one of the things I'm saddest about. So what do I think Matt could do better? If Matt really wants to get into creating his own things and doing his own stuff, which I completely understand, I completely respect. We highlight independent creators around here all the time. What could he do instead? Cut back, buddy. We don't need to see you in every single video. We don't need to hear your voice in every single video. If you want to introduce new people, then do it. But you slowly transition those kind of things in. You don't do a shock to the system like this, like what you're doing, because this is going to cause you a drop. Just like there's an old story about eBay, right? eBay's background used to be yellow. Any of y'all that are old enough to remember that, you remember the commercials, you remember all that kind of stuff. eBay's background used to be yellow, right? Well, eBay all of a sudden immediately switched over to white one day, and the entire internet freaked out. Everybody hated it. They got all kinds of emails. They got all kinds of nasty grams. So what did they do? They switched back to yellow. And then what did they do? Over a period of time, I think it was about a year, they slowly took that yellow and they lightened it, and they lightened it, and they lightened it, and they lightened it. And they kept lightening it slowly, increment by increment. They slowly lightened it. And eventually it turned out to white, which is what you see on the eBay background now. And guess what? Nobody complained. Nobody was mad about it. Nobody was upset about it, right? So that's what MatPat should be doing. You should be introducing these new hosts individually. Let them, if they are writing the majority part of your theories, then that's great. Let them throw a couple up, every few weeks or every week. Maybe you only do one video a month now, or maybe they only do one video a month now, and you slowly transition those kind of things. But doing a shock to the system is the biggest kind of backlash you can get. That's why I think this is a mistake. I think Matt should at least try to record one video a month on the channel, at least, to keep himself there, to keep his vision there. And that would still give him plenty of time to go out there and create his own things. I get it. I want to go out there and create my own things too. I've got ideas that have been floating around in my head for better part of a decade that I want to get to, and I will. with all of you guys' support, with all of your guys' championship, with all of that kind of stuff out there. But I think Matt Pat's leaving is a mistake, and I think it's going to damage the entire brand. And that's what I think about that. And I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from on this. I am a huge fan of Matt Pat. I love his channels. I love what he does. I love his energy. I love all of that kind of stuff. I never wanted to see him fail. I never want to see him leave. I want to see him on here being a guy in the culture war, in the independent sphere, showing off really independent creations forever. I want to see that forever. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get that anymore. Matt Pat's leaving his theory channels, and I honestly think it's a bad idea. And to reiterate why I think that's a bad idea, as I do, when I tell you that I believe that we need to go out there and have more babies and get married and have successful families and go back to church, I do those things in my life. We try to make it to church every single Sunday. We don't always make it because of whatever life reasons and stuff like that, but we try to make it every single Sunday. You know what I mean? I try to make sure I get my kids to church every Sunday. I am having more children. I talk about the population crisis, right? How we need to have more kids. One of the easiest ways to win the culture war is to keep our kids away from these weirdos and have more of them. Introduce them to the good stuff. Introduce them to the moral, the righteous things. And simply because of the fact that they don't have children, or they damage their own children to where their children can't have children, and we keep them away, and we keep our children away from them, we'll win strictly by numbers. That's why I just had my 5th kid. That's why I plan on having another one, right? Because I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm doing the things that I told you I was going to do. I'm not just spouting this stuff off. I'm not just giving advice. I'm living this lifestyle. I am doing the things that I tell you to do. I turned on a camera. I turned on a microphone. I started making videos. I learned to edit. I learned to do all of this kind of stuff because I believe in what we're doing here. And you know what? Maybe the culture war isn't anything to Matt. Maybe it's not something he's paying attention to. Maybe it's not something that he cares about. I understand that. I get that. But I'm going to make a promise to all of you out here. I'm going to make a promise to each and every one of you that for as long as my channels are successful, as long as I am able to continue to sustain a living, even if I have to scrape that out by bare bones and sacrifice my liver doing drunken streams for you guys until the day I die, I will always be here as long as your guys' support is be here. This camera will never get turned off. This microphone will never get turned off. Am I always going to be here? No. Life goes crazy. I'm not always going to be able to be here Monday through Friday making content like I am. Today is one of those examples. I wasn't able to do my live stream on Rumble that I do Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Because you know what? I got a brand new baby at the house and mama needed a break. I had to take care of things for a little while. I had to handle things. I had to make sure that she was good and that she could get some rest and that the baby was happy. And that's going to happen, especially as I have more kids going forward. But I promise you something right now. From the bottom of my heart, as long as you guys are here to support, I will never leave. I will never leave this channel. I will never leave this fellowship. I will be here fighting with you guys, protecting our culture, protecting our future generations, and promoting what's going to be good for our posterity going forward until the day I die. If I live stream and die in this chair and the Lord calls me home in the middle of a live stream, I will go to him a happy man. I will go to my Lord, my Savior, a happy man. And I expect each and every one of you out there to make 1,000,000 videos grifting off the fact that I died on a live stream, talking to you guys, doing what I love, doing what I believe in, sacrificing every single day, hours upon hours, making sure that not only you guys have a better culture going forward, but that my children and all of our posterity have a better future going forward. That is my promise to you. I'm not going anywhere. I will never leave. I am back on this platform on YouTube because I believe in the culture where I am starting from scratch all over again because I believe in what we're doing. I believe in this fight. I believe in this culture war. And I will never leave you as long as you guys are always here to support me. Because I believe in this. Shout out to Matt Pat. He's an inspiration to all of us. Shout out to every person of his team. I thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for all the incredible work you guys have done over the last 13 years, for all of the amazing videos, all of the amazing theories, all of the amazing new crazy things you guys have gotten into that have kept all of us entertained. Matt Pat, I thank you. And my hat is absolutely off to you for the incredible work you've done. My friend, I understand sometimes a general has to leave the battlefield. And you have been one of those in your own way. And I thank you for that. I thank you for all the entertainment. I still do believe that it is wrong for you to leave not only your own channels, but this battlefield of culture that, whether you know it or not, you have been making a difference in. So enjoy your family, enjoy the time with your children, and enjoy all the new creative endeavors that you are going to be pushing forward, because I will absolutely be supporting you with those new creative endeavors just the way I support every other independent out there that I believe in. So thank you, Matt, for everything. Thank you, Game Theory. Thank you, Food Theory. Thank you, Film Theory. And thank you, Fashion Theory. I think that's what it's called. But thank you guys for all your hard work, for all your dedication, for everything you've done. Thank you, Matt. You've done great. Don't worry, brother. The rest of us will keep the fight going forward. So enjoy your time with your family. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. And thank you for all the inspiration and for all the great work you've done. Five Nights at Freddy's, I honestly don't believe would be what it is without you. And I thank you for that. So thank all of you guys out there that watched this, that made it all the way to the end. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Roast me for all you want, for being upset with Matt Pat for doing this, for thinking he's wrong, for thinking that's going to hurt his channels. Roast me in the comments for it. I welcome it. I appreciate it. It all helps out with the algorithm. And for all of you out there, like I said, my promise is, for as long as you guys support me, I will be in this chair, although we might upgrade the chair at some point. But I will be here, behind this camera, in front of this microphone, until the day I die. Because that's how much I believe, and how important I believe all of this is. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, this is Jesse, and I mean that, always. This is Jesse, the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. Enjoy the credits, and thanks for watching.